Yes, what's your name?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's your name?
Jeffrey Cook.
Jeffrey Cook. I'm sorry?
You don't have those confinement.
What am I supposed to do? What are you in jail for, sir?
Disorderly conduct.
For the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jeffrey David Cook, file number 23L278048182. These are both set for show cause because you owe money on both
Yes,
files. You owe
ma'am.
155, one file number ending in 81. You owe 175 on the other. When do you intend to make payments on those?
As soon as I'm released.
When
I
is
will
that
make a
gonna be?
payment. I go for sentencing for the disorderly conduct ticket on the 28th. And I've been in here since May 16th. So hopefully soon. And as soon as I get out of here, I've got to go to Rise. And then after that, I'm going to make a payment that day if you would like.
Okay. Okay. When are you gonna make your payment after the first one?
I will make one, as long as I can get a job, every 2 weeks I can pay on it. It may not be much, but like $25 or $50, but I know every 2 weeks I can at least pay that. Even if I have to donate plasma, whatever it takes.
Okay, I'll note that in the file that you'll make your payment as soon as you're released from custody of $25. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you'll pay $25 per month until paid in
Yes.
full, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, you're all set.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Same to you.
Good to go. See you.
Okay, on the record in the matter, please. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan, I'm sorry, people of the city of Lansing versus Dominic Corliss, file number 23-00697. Council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Dominic Corliss, who is appearing separately by video.
Okay. Mr. Corliss, can you unmute your device, please?
I believe I have, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Today's the date and the time set for sentencing. Ms. Donnelly, I do have a pre-sentence report and recommendation here. The report was prepared on July 10th. Did you get a copy of that?
I have, Your Honor.
Any need to make corrections, deletions, or updates?
After reviewing it with Mr. Corliss, no.
You can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. In regards to the recommendations, Mr. Corliss and myself don't have any concerns. We do believe that he is appropriate for a term of probation. And for the most part, we agree with the conditions, except for when Mr. Corliss's substance abuse assessment came back, I kind of struggled with the recommendation from PATS to intensive outpatient programming, especially because they diagnosed him at, well, the MAS, the Michigan alcohol assessment test, actually put him at a score of 4 that did not indicate an alcohol use problem, which is why he's here. But given the DAS score for drugs, and I struggled with that one, I actually talked to the counseling manager, supervisor, and the person who performed Mr. Corliss's, well, 2 people, 1, the supervising counselor, and 2, the woman who did Mr. Corliss's assessment. I asked them both if how the DAS was performed, because typically it's supposed to take into account just like the last year of drug use, or temptation, struggling, that sort of thing. They asked it for his whole life, and they diagnosed him correctly as having some amphetamine and other unspecified cannabis related disorder in sustained remission. But they used that history to determine what level of treatment he needs currently, which is why they put it at the intensive outpatient level. My concern with that level is Mr. Corliss he works full time. He has been working for 11 years in his current job. It's full time. So obviously just set him up for success. I would want him to have an appropriate level of care, as well as consider, the obligations he already has to work and family that he has to also account for. So, Your Honor, my concern was that they were putting him at a higher level than required based on his past drug usage and not his current drug or alcohol usage. Again, I do believe that a level of treatment is appropriate, is needed, is necessary, but typically with a MAS score this low, it would be the alcohol education class. With his drug usage, I would believe that it might even be appropriate if the court wants to consider outpatient treatment at this time, as well as the other drug testing and the 12-step meetings. But Your Honor, my concern was always that they were basing his current level of treatment on his significant past drug use history, which when reported, he hasn't used any other drug but alcohol for several years. So I know they also have this test that they have called the SASE, and that indicated a high probability of having a substance use disorder. I think that test, after asking about it, is based on defensiveness. So I just want to indicate that doesn't indicate that he has a substance use disorder. Again, it's just a high probability of having them. So I do believe that it's appropriate that he do treatment. I would just want the court to consider, again, the alcohol safety class, as well as the victim impact panel and the 12-step meetings and drug testing, or maybe outpatient treatment. But I would hope that the court would consider not putting him immediately into intensive outpatient programming. Besides that, Your Honor, we have no other issues with the recommendation. Mr. Corliss, wants to be accountable, wants to take responsibility. I believe that he will complete probation successfully. So we would just ask that he be put on a term of probation. Thank you.
Does your client wish to make a statement on his own?
Mr. Corliss, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. It was a bad decision that I made. It's not in my character to do that kind of stuff. I was having a terrible day, and I apologize. I take full accountability for what I did.
Oh, I reviewed the pre-sentence report. I reviewed the recommendation and I reviewed your prior criminal history. This is not a first impaired for you. I recognize there's been a length of time, but during that length of time, there's been a considerable amount of substance-related convictions. The report here opines as it relates to the alcohol drug assessment that you did score moderate for an alcohol use disorder, and that you scored for the amphetamine type use disorder in sustained remission, and then unspecified cannabis related disorder in sustained remission. I recognize that your attorney has some concerns about the recommendation for you to engage in intensive outpatient treatment, but you were, of course, assessed by a professional who gave that recommendation. And I'm looking at your criminal history and that matches that. If I look at your criminal history and I look at what it came back as the recommendation from the substance abuse assessment, they go hand in hand. It's apparent to me that there's an issue and that the issue is not isolated. Your alcohol at the time of the stop was twice the legal limit. You weren't stopped, I don't believe, based on any accident or anything like that. I think it was a normal routine traffic stop, but the amount of alcohol that you had in your system at that time is concerning. And so you definitely need some substance abuse treatment. Whether or not that needs to be intensive at this time, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll listen and take your attorney's recommendation that it's possible that the assessor and even the court is weighing too heavily on what your past was, and that this is not a situation where intensive outpatient is necessary. You will be ordered to participate in outpatient, but I won't order intense outpatient at this time. As of right now, you will be placed on a term of 12 months probation. While on probation, there's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind during your term of probation. You're not to use, possess, or purchase alcohol, marijuana, or a controlled substance unless you have a valid prescription. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, you need to submit to random preliminary breath testing. You'll be submitting regularly, and then you'll be paying the fee for that, okay?
Yes.
Okay. You're not to be at any bars or nightclubs while on a term of probation. I'm going to order that you do complete the MAD victim impact panel. And that you participate in a 12-step programming and provide verification to your probation officer. And I'm also ordering that you participate and provide verification of outpatient substance abuse treatment. You're required to maintain employment while on probation. You will be reporting to your probation officer via Zoom. Do you understand that?
I do.
You have 90 days to provide verification of completing the victim impact panel. Let's see. Do you have any questions so far?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm gonna order 93 days Ingham County Jail with credit for 2 days previously served. Suspend the balance of the 91 days upon your successful completion of the 12 months of probation as ordered. As to fines and costs, there's a $75 crime victim rights fee that you're responsible for, plus a $50 state minimum cost that you are responsible for. Probation for 12 months at $30 per month. It's $360 for oversight fees. You also owe $190.55 to the Lansing Police Department for responding to this incident. That's a total of $675.55. I'll waive discretionary fines and costs. You'll have the opportunity to make monthly payments on that $675, okay?
Yes.
Lastly, there's an advice of rights as it relates to probation. It says you've been placed on a term of probation before the 54A District Court. Probation conditions have been individually tailored and are specific to address your assessed risks and needs, except for in cases of domestic violence, criminal sex crimes, stalking offenses, or an offense where the defense of guilty but mentally ill was asserted. You have the following rights. You have the right to request early discharge from probation once you've completed half the original term ordered by the judge. Your probation officer may, but is not required they may file a notice with the judge once you become eligible for early discharge. The probation officer will send a copy of that request to the prosecuting attorney. The prosecuting attorney, in this case, which is the city attorney's office, has 14 days after receipt of the notice to file any written objections to early discharge. You have your right to file your request on your own if your probation officer does not do so. You would have to first make sure you have not violated any of the probation conditions within the 90 days preceding your request. You would make your request by sending a copy of the notice to the prosecuting attorney, that is the city attorney's office. They would have 14 days from receipt of the request for early discharge to put any objections in writing. If a hearing is scheduled to address your request for early discharge, you have the right to hire an attorney to represent you, but you do not have the right to court-appointed counsel for any hearing relative to early discharge from probation. Lastly, you may make your request for early discharge by completing the notice regarding eligibility or for early discharge from probation. That's the MC 512 form, and that form is located on the court website, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any questions for the court at this time?
I do not.
Okay, our probation department will be in contact with you to go over the order as it relates to your sentencing. You'll be required to review that order and sign it once you receive it in copy form, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, has your contact information changed since the time of your arraignment in April?
It has not.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Is Paige Smith here? She is here. Paige Smith?
Yes.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Paige Smith. File number is 23-00270. Counsel appearance.
Yes, Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, Paige Smith, who is appearing separately by video.
Okay, Ms. Smith, today's the date set for sentencing. And then Ms. Donnelly, I do have a pre-sentence report here. It was prepared back on June 9th, 2023. Did you get a copy of that?
I have, Your Honor.
Any need to make corrections, updates, or deletions?
No, Your Honor.
You can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. After discussing it with Ms. Smith, we agree with the recommendation that she is a good candidate for probation. We would ask this court to put her on a term of probation, and any of the conditions, Your Honor, we don't have any objections to. I appreciate how honest Ms. Smith was with Ms. Bayless about her situation, about she's a young woman now, 20. This is her first offense, and it's not an unserious one. She reported to have, she was honest about having used a lot of substances already, that she is using substances to cope with mental health issues. So we do agree that she should be getting treatment for those issues. She did report on her own that she is 3 to 4 months ago, she went to Sparrow, and she is now being prescribed an anti-anxiety medication. She works full-time as a care aide at Portland Assisted Living. She's done that for a little less than a year. She started taking care aide classes in 2021 to have a job. And so she continues with that. But she hopes that one day she can go to school once she's still young, kind of trying to figure out what she wants to do. So eventually the hope is to go to school online while working, so that she can advance, her career. Other than that, she says she lives with her boyfriend in his father's home. She goes to the gym every day. She does have strong supports from her family. Her mother, she talks to every day. She has her brother in the area that his family that she has support from, and obviously she's from Michigan, so she has other family in the area, and she says that sometimes, besides the gym, she also likes to camp and spend time with her family. So again, Your Honor, we do believe that a term of probation is appropriate, and we ask the court to answer to that. Thank you.
Okay. Did Ms. Smith want to make a statement for herself?
I don't believe so. Ms. Smith, did you want to say anything?
No.
I did review the pre-sentence report, the recommendation, as well as the prior criminal history, which there was no prior criminal convictions other than this. And as indicated by counsel, it looks like the defendant agrees that she would benefit from a term of probation and some treatment to address the substance abuse issues. And so I think that would be appropriate. And so probation will be ordered. Going to place Ms. Smith on a term of 12-month probation. While on probation, she is required to participate in random testing, PBT testing, and or urinalysis testing. She's not to be at any bars or nightclubs. Okay, Ms. Smith?
Okay.
You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or marijuana without a valid prescription. You understand that?
Yes.
You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind, and you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. I'm going to order that you participate in a 12-step program and provide verification to probation. You'll do that as directed by your probation officer. And then you're required to attend a victim impact panel within 180 days and provide verification to probation, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to order you to continue your mental health counseling. And participate in intensive outpatient treatment. Do you have any questions at this time about probation requirements?
No.
You're going to be required to maintain your employment while on probation.
Okay.
Okay, as to fines and costs, there's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for while you're on probation. So for 12 months of probation at $30 per month, that's $360. There's also a statutory crime victim rights fee that must be assessed, plus a $50 state minimum cost that must be assessed. And then you owe the police department $511.90 for responding to this call. That's a total of $996.90. $996.90, and you'll be able to make monthly payments on that as part of your probation conditions, okay?
Okay.
Lastly, there's an advisive right as to probation. You have the right to request early discharge from probation, and it's under these conditions. It says you have been sentenced to a term of probation in a 54A district court. The probation conditions have been individually tailored and are specific to address your assessed risks and needs. Except for domestic violence, criminal sex crime, stalking offenses, or an offense where the defense of guilty but mentally ill was asserted, you may be eligible for early discharge from probation. You have the right to request early discharge from probation once you complete half of the original term ordered by the judge. You must not have had any violations of the probation status within the 90 days preceding your request. Your probation officer can make that request without you prompting, and that probation officer would need to send a copy of that request to the city attorney, giving the city attorney 14 days to respond to the request in writing. Or you can make your own request using the MC 512 form, which is the notice regarding eligibility for early discharge form. You would complete that form, you would serve a copy of that form to the probation department and to the city attorney's office. The city attorney's office would have 14 days from the date of receipt of that to respond in writing with objections to your request. If we set it for a hearing to address your request for early discharge, you do have the right to hire an attorney to represent you, but you do not have the right to court-appointed counsel for any hearing for early discharge. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No.
Okay, that form, which is the MC 512 form, can be located on the court website, or you can just get it from your probation officer. Has your contact information changed at all since the date of your arraignment back in February?
No.
The probation department will be in contact with you to go over my order as it relates to your sentencing, and then you'll have to review and sign off on it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Smith, you're all set for today, and good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's the young lady's name in the back here? What's her name?
This is Ayana Larkin.
Larkin, and then I have Bloomingburg. Who represents Bloomingburg?
I do, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, so you, is it both those individuals, Mr.
Yes,
Lee? Okay, and what's this young lady's name?
which one?
Ayana.
No.
That's Ayana Larkin. Who was that then? Who asked him to be brought up? Who's client is it?
That's my client, I'm sorry.
Did you need to speak to him?
I've already spoken.
Oh, okay, we'll do him first. This is Messer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rufus Messer, file number 22-00024 and 22-00995. Appearance, please.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Rufus Carl Messer, who is present in the courtroom and standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Messer, today is the date and time set for pre-trials, and I have two driving unlicensed. How are we proceeding, counsel?
Your Honor, Mr. Messer is prepared today to plead guilty to an amended charge of allowing an unlicensed person to drive. Prosecutor has agreed to dismiss all of it.
Okay. Is there an advice of rights?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I did not get one. Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Messer, you want to plead guilty to an amended count of allowing an unlicensed driver to operate? Okay, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. Thank you. Put your hand down. Is there a particular one that the prosecution wants him to plea on, or does it not matter?
We have no preference, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna proceed on file number ending in 24. Okay, and I have an advice of rights of plea information sheet here, and there is a signature at the bottom. That's your signature, sir. You read this document. You understand each of the rights listed here. And you're willing to give up each of these rights in order to enter a guilty plea to the amended charge of allowing an unlicensed driver to operate a motor vehicle? Okay. You understand that you have the right to a trial in this matter, and you have the right to the presumption of innocence at trial. And so you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the city prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you at trial beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? Willing to give up that right? You're willing to give up the right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial? Okay, you're willing to give up the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the city intended to call against you at trial? Anybody making any promises or threats to you to get you to waive your rights today? And you also understand you have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence used against you, correct? Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
As to the amended charge of allowing an unlicensed driver, how do you plead? factual basis, counsel.
Mr. Messer, on or about December 26, 2021, were you driving in a car upon Tenney at or near Hodge in the city of Lansing, county of Ingham, state of Michigan?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, did you allow an unlicensed person to drive the vehicle?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
Any questions, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
I'll accept your guilty plea and find the factual basis sufficient. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. He was rated here. What is he in custody for?
He's currently in custody, Your Honor, in regards to possession.
Receiving and concealing stolen vehicle, possession of heroin, third-degree retail fraud, and driving without a license.
Have you been sentenced or you're just being held? Sentenced to what?
90-day rehab, year probation, and no more upfront jail time.
Okay, you don't actually have any credit on this, but you'll get it because I'm just gonna credit your time served. Because you have, I'm sorry? You're welcome. You've missed court so many times, I'm sure you sat in jail somehow. Nonetheless, I'm sorry?
I think he's been in for the last 90 days.
Oh, yeah, but this case is old. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 failure to appear, so he's been picked up a couple of times, so you have at least 5 days, I'm sure. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
And you were representing who else?
This is Ayanna Larkin.
You ready on Larkin?
Yes.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Ayanna Marie Larkin, file number 23-01532. Take your right, please.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Ayanna Larkin. Ms. Larkin is in the courtroom and standing to my right.
Okay, today was the date set for a trial. It's operating while intoxicated. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, having just entered into plea negotiations with the city attorney, we will request an adjournment to allow time for Ms. Larkin to complete her alcohol assessment.
August 29th at 9:30.
August 29th at 9:30. Have any questions today, ma'am? Oh, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am. We'll get you a copy of your notice to appear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What else did I obtain?
Yeah, I don't know what matter she took for.
Ma'am, you're identified as Ira Page. What's your name? Ma'am, you're muted, so I couldn't hear your name.
Fannie Taylor.
Okay, Fannie Taylor. Show cause. Anybody seen Adrika? No? What about Alexis Jones? Anybody seen Alexis Jones? No. So, who's representing Nyquita Bloomberg?
John Lee.
Okay, we ready on her?
The prosecutor has offered something that I'm sure would be a satisfactory resolution, but I have not yet had a chance to communicate it to her. I can talk to her in the breakout room. We can do it on the record, but it's up to you.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Nyquita Bloomberg, file number 23L2792691. Appearance, please.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Nyquita Bloomingburg.
Okay, Ms. Bloomberg, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, today was the date set for a pre-trial explanation hearing. I think she was charged with a speeding 26 to 30. What was the offer?
The offer is 6 to 10 over.
Okay, the city is offering to reduce it to a speeding 6 to 10 over. Ma'am, did you want to accept that today, or did you want to proceed to a formal hearing?
I don't know.
Okay, we can reset it for you to think about it if that's what you want.
Yes.
Okay, we'll set up a formal hearing and change your mind. That's that.
August 8th at 11.
August 8th at 11.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you on August 8th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Donnelly, do you have?
Your Honor, I have a Leonore Cologne.
Has anybody seen Adrika Blackman? No? No, Adrika?
Your Honor, no, I've tried, I tried calling his wife, I don't. Haven't gotten any reply.
Your Honor, I was contacted by one of my clients this morning, Mr. Marcel Carter. Mr. Carter reports that he's in the ICU for a broken bone caused by a dog bite. He was going to try to attend.
I'm right here.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
I just wanted to show I'm in the hospital. I just wanted to show the proof I'm in the hospital for real.
Okay.
Okay. We can reset your matter, sir.
Okay.
Carter? Carter.
August 8th at 11. I'll take,
August 8th at 11.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. You're all set. Let's see. Anybody seen Miguel Martinez?
Your Honor, he's just here for an explanation or a show cause.
He's not here, correct? No one's in the hallway? No. Okay. Mark Martinez. Eventually. You seen Stephanie Weinberger? Weinberger is the default. Is Alexa Jones here? Alexa Jones is also an eventual. Okay, you have who again, Ms. Donnelly?
In the courtroom is Ms. Cologne.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Leonore Cologne, file number 23-01619, council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Leonore Cologne, who is present and standing to my right.
Today's the date that's set for a pre-trial. Here during this matter to allow you to review some additional evidence. Was there no offer at this time still?
No, there's not an offer I've been given. I did review the police report with Ms. Cologne. At this time, we will be requesting an adjournment 30 days so that I can request the body worn camera and motor vehicle footage.
August 29th and
August 29th at 9. You have any questions today, ma'am? Okay, we'll get you a copy of your notice to appear. Any additional matters, council?
Nothing for the city.
Nothing from the bench. Thank you.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a great.
Same to you. Okay, let's see. Sir, are you waiting for court? Okay, great. And then I have Fannie Taylor on here and Felicia Kearns, but she's got a lot going on. So we'll let her wait. Are you ready with Miss Taylor?
Your Honor, she doesn't have it. Yeah, it's a show cause.
Okay. Okay, let's see, do I have anything? Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Fannie Taylor, I have 3 files, Ms. Taylor. There's T 0025859190. There's T 0025895519, and then there's 22L2731762. And so these are set for show cause because you didn't pay your citations. 2 of them look like they were parking tickets. There's a no park zone citation that you owe $96 on. There is an expired meter that you owe $90 on. And then you have a no proof of insurance ticket that you owe $208 on. What's your plan to make payment on those, ma'am?
What I thought I was paying $50 a month on my tickets.
Did you make that payment arrangement with someone?
When I came to court last time, well, last week, a couple of weeks ago, last month, I did an arrangement of $50 a month. I made one payment. My next payment ain't due until August something.
You made a payment on June 30th. on the no proof, so you would have a payment due next week then.
Yes.
The magistrate, however, did not put that information here. I only see that you requested an extension to July 3rd, not that you wanted to make $50 payments. So I will update this with,
Yep, and
yes, ma'am?
because which one, when can I get my my license back? Because I was really working on the one to try to get my license back. Because
That's probably the no proof of insurance that's suspending your license. Is that the one that's suspending your license?
Ordinance, that's right, license.
Yeah, and so you actually also have some other matters that you owe on. I don't know if you have payment plans on those. I only
No.
have 3 files before me today, but you got a few of them going on here that you owe money on. This no proof of insurance, does have a Secretary of State suspension on it. So you would need to pay that up before that suspension can be cleared. I can waive the Secretary of suspension fee once you pay the fine in full, but I would need you to come in and bring me proof that you paid in full before I waived it, okay?
Okay, so I'm paid in full is how much is that?
For the ROA. Okay, there was a $43 late penalty added. I can waive that.
Okay.
And let's see. There is a Secretary of State fee of $20 plus another fee of $25. So you currently owe $208 on this ticket. I'll subtract the $45 for the Secretary of State, and then I'll subtract the $43 after you pay the remaining $120 on that, okay?
Okay. So the 120 I come to the courthouse and pay?
You can pay it online. I'm gonna note here on the file that once you pay that they can waive those, okay?
Okay.
$43 late penalty. Okay, and then once you pay that off, then you'll continue with your payment plan on your other files, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you're all set.
All right, thank you. Have a blessed day.
You're welcome. Same to you. Who's representing Ms. Kearns?
I think that's Mr. Lee.
Okay. I believe I see a room. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Lee, you representing Ms. Kearns?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, are you ready to proceed on her matter?
I need to speak with her briefly, Your Honor.
Okay, did you already speak with someone already that's ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor. I can return and we can do Mercedes Lopez right now.
Well, you can stay right there. Mercedes is right here, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing, that is, versus Mercedes Diane Lopez. I have file numbers 21L2670842 and 22-00834. Council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Mercedes Lopez.
Okay, today's date and the time set for pre-trials. I have a failure to display operator's license and a no license never applied. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ms. Lopez is in the process of contacting the courts, contacting the Secretary of State. She would like to resolve this matter by getting her driver's license. However, we believe that there are 2 or 3 tickets that are outstanding that need to be paid for to make that happen. So we're asking for an adjournment to allow her time to get those affairs in order to see if we can proceed to restoring her license.
Where are these other tickets?
There are tickets outstanding in 55th District Court and in 54A District Court.
Can you print her or ROAs for this court? Oh, $155 on the speeding. And 180. My improper pass. Are you on a payment plan on these?
No, I had called and they had told me basically when I come to court, I would figure out all the information and basically after court, I'd be able to, if I was able to start a payment plan, I would be able to.
Okay, you'll owe 180 on. The improper passing. If you pay that. If you pay 150, I'll waive the late penalty of 20%, which is $30. And then you owe 155 on the speeding. Hmm. Looks like we already removed D. Penalty on that. When are you gonna make a payment on those?
If I could today, I could today, but this is my first time being in trouble for real, so I don't really understand how like the payment plan works. Like, I don't know if it's like bi-weekly, weekly, or like if they set you amount. But if like, if they could work with me on, a budget that could fit with me, then I would continue to pay it.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Are you working?
no, not right now. I was door dashing and getting, flipped, so that's kind of out the question until I get, my license right now.
Okay, so when do you intend to make a payment on these?
I mean, if I could today, I could put something on there today.
How much are you gonna put on it today?
Is it like only cash or card?
They'll take card.
Like $40. I have like 60 to my name right now. So if I could put like maybe 40 to start it off, I don't know.
Is that what you're actually gonna pay, or is that, if you can't afford 40, you don't have to do 40? Let's, let me know what you can pay.
Is it like monthly or like weekly?
I'm asking you.
If I could do weekly payments of like $20, I would want to do that.
Got a note here that you're gonna make payments of $20 weekly on files to L2714501 and 1L2677084. What they'll do is when you bring the $20, they'll apply it to the oldest one first. To continue to make those payments until paid in full. I don't see that this one of these suspending your license. Looks like the magistrate already removed the penalty. I don't see that any of these are suspending your license, but maybe the one in 55th is setting is holding up your license. These don't show me that they're suspended. Okay, so, but I will note that you're on a payment plan, so at least you'll be in good standing here if you're making payments of $20 weekly on they'll apply to the oldest file first, and then it'll go to the next until they're paid in full, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
And then we're gonna reset this 30 days, so you can go in 55th and figure out what's going on there, and then you and your attorney figure out what's actually suspending the license.
Okay, thank you.
The door was closed and I couldn't hear you.
August 29th at 9.
August 29th at 9 o'clock is your new court date, okay?
Okay.
Get you a copy of your notice to appear. Do you have any questions today?
No, I do not.
Okay, you can have a seat and you're all set, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Simmons.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
You're welcome.
Mr. Lee, you need to speak with Ms. Kearns.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Sir, what's your name? Who's his attorney? Is it Donnelly? And Mr. Rios. Who's his attorney? Do you have any fingerprints? Okay, Ms. Donnelly, you're not representing Mr. Rios, are you?
No, I do represent Mr. Rios. I'm ready to go, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Joshua Rios, file number 23-01586. Appearance, please.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, Josh Rios, who is appearing separately by video.
Mr. Rios, we need your fingerprints. Can you hear me?
Pardon me? I'm sorry.
You have to come in person and get fingerprinted.
Okay.
When are you gonna do that?
Tomorrow, I guess.
Okay.
As soon as possible.
Y'all know that you'll come tomorrow to be fingerprinted. Okay, today was the date time set for pretrial on discharging a weapon in public. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, I have not received an offer from the city. I have just briefly met with Mr. Rios and provided him the discovery, and I would like an opportunity to review that with him and get an offer from the city attorney at this time. So, and because he needs his fingerprints done, I would just be asking for the pretrial conference to be continued for 2 weeks.
August 8th at 1:30.
August 8th at 1:30. Do you have any questions today, Mr. Rios?
August 8th at 1:30. I need to appear.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, Your Honor. Yeah. I just was just confirming.
Okay, no problem. Do you have any questions?
I need to do my fingerprints tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Where do I go to do that?
You'll come to the police department that's located at City Hall,
Okay.
and they'll have your fingerprint order, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any questions right this second.
Okay, if anything comes up, you just get in contact with Miss Donnelly, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Okay, and that's the interpreter.
Yes, and Mr. Juma is here in person, so if you just put him in my breakout room, I will go talk to him.
Oh, the interpreter?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in room 1 with Miss Donnelly.
So am I all done, ma'am?
You're going to go talk.
Yeah, I have to go. The interpreter's on Zoom, so.
Okay, yep, you're free to go, Mr. Rios.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Pero antes se remontaba la otra. Suficiente. No,
Ms. Lopez? You need to change your payment plan?
Yes, if I could, I just made a $23 payment right now online. But like I was asking earlier, I was confused on like weekly, bi-weekly, but when I had talked to somebody, they said it was really my choice. So I just would feel more comfortable if I could do like $25 or $30 a month, if that was okay.
Okay, I'll change it to $25 monthly, okay?
Okay, thank you so
You're
much.
Whoops. Is Ms. Kearns ready? On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Felicia Kearns in file number 23-02011. Here.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Felicia Kearns.
Okay, Ms. Kearns, today's the date set for a pretrial. Yeah, there's one count of furnishing false information to the police. How are we proceeding, counsel?
Your Honor, Ms. Kearns is prepared to plead guilty as charged.
That's correct, Ms. Kearns?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, Ms. Kearns, in this matter, you do have the right to a trial and you have the right to jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the city bring sufficient evidence to trial to prove your guilt beyond, by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're willing to give up those rights today in order to plead guilty to the original charge?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means you also give up the right to cross-examine and confront any other witnesses the city intended to call against you. You're gonna give up your right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial you believe further a defense to the charge being brought against you. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody making any promises to you in exchange for you entering a guilty plea?
No.
Has there been any threats to you in exchange for a guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
Yes.
Okay, you are on which one?
Probation in Ionia County.
You understand that a guilty plea could result in a violation of your probation status?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you also understand that a guilty plea could get you a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer. You may need to report this conviction to a future employer.
Yes, ma'am.
A conviction of this kind also could have impact on any travel or immigration status that you may be seeking. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
Okay, as to the charge of furnishing false information, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Kearns, on or about April 15th, 2023, were you at 2606 Risdale in the city of Lansing, County of Ingham, State of Michigan?
Yes.
And at that time, were you asked by a police officer to furnish your name and your son's name?
Yes.
And at that time, did you give them a false name, to wit, Levon McBride and Felicia McBride?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from you, Mr. Staples?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. How long is she on probation for?
I'm not sure when her probation ends. Ms. Kearns, when does your probation in Ionia County end?
February of next year.
You can address the court on sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Ms. Kearns has expressed remorse for her decision in this case. Her protective instinct as a mother got the better of her, and she was trying to protect her son. But she realizes what she did was wrong, and she accepts responsibility. She is a mother of 3 children, working in the home healthcare field, and is like a lot of single mothers struggling to put food on the table. So we're asking the court to consider that when assessing fines and costs in regard to her guilty.
Fine is $125. When can you make payments?
I can do them every 2 weeks.
How
Starting.
much you gonna pay for 2 weeks?
I can do $25 every 2 weeks.
Y'all note here, you'll make a payment of $25 bi-weekly until paid in full. You can make payment online at the court website, or you can come up and make payment in person at the criminal traffic window, or you can mail check or money order to the court, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
When is the first payment due?
Your first payment will be due 2 weeks from today.
Okay. Am I allowed to pay it early? Like I get paid this Friday. Am I allowed to pay it then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Ms. Kearns.
Have a good day.
Who's on the Samsung? Is that the interpreter? Are we ready on Mr. Juma's matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of the city of Lansing versus Pacific Juma, file number 23-01698. Appearance, please.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant.
Okay.
So we have Juma, who is present to my right.
Thank you. And we currently have an interpreter. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Abdallah Mukoma. First name Abdalla, last name Mukoma.
Thank you. Today is the date and the time that was set.
Leo ni siku kwamba nimepangwa
for pre-trial.
Kwamba ni kwa kuhojiwa kuambiwa yale yalitokea.
How are we proceeding?
Tunaendaje?
Your Honor, at this time, we would request a 30-day adjournment so that I can get a substance abuse assessment for an offer.
Ndio, kwa leo nataka siku 30 ili yani tuendelee na kumchukulia vipimo vingine.
August 29th at 9.
Nasema kwamba ni mwezi wa 8 tarehe 29 saa 3 kamili.
Mr. Juma, do you have any questions?
Kuna swali yoyote?
Nilikuwa na swali. Kama nitakuja hapa.
Ndio, tarehe 10. Yes, he has question. He's asking, is he going to come back there at the court?
Yes, on August 29th.
Ndio, mwezi wa 8 tarehe 29. Yeah, he needs a note so that he can keep the appointment.
Yep, we're giving it to him now.
Ndio, kwamba utapewa hapo saa hii. Thank you.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the city.
Okay, watu wa city hawana kitu chochote wanataka kuongeza.
Anasema yeye.
Hapana, watu wa CD ndio walikuwa wanaulizwa kama kuna kitu chochote ya kuongezwa, sio wewe.
Your Honor, before the interpreter leaves, I just want him to interpret what's about to happen.
Ndio kwamba anataka kidogo kwamba nikuambie yale iko hapo.
So
That's an order for fingerprints. This officer's going to take you downstairs to the police department so you can complete the fingerprints.
Ndio kwamba hiyo karatasi saa hii umepewa, unaenda kuchukulia vidole hapo kwa juu kidogo, saa hii utapelekwa hapo.
so
Okay.
And then you'll be free to go, and then you'll wait for my call.
Ndio, alafu utasubiria simu yangu kwamba yani nitakupigia simu.
Yeah, this is your notice to appear. So this is when you're coming back to court.
Asema hiyo ni karatasi ninakupa saa hii, ni ile unaenda kurudia hapo kwa mahakamani. Okay.
All right, we're good. Thank you.
Uko sawa. Asante.
Thank you, Ms. Makoma.
Thank you, Anna. May I leave?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Rashawn Worthy, file number 18-038010M. Council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Rashawn Worthy, who is in the courtroom and standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Worthy, today is the date set for a pre-trial for furnishing false information and a hinder struck deposed. Let's see. Failed to appear, but you say you were incarcerated? Okay. On another matter, not related to this, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Counsel, how are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, the prosecutor has offered and Mr. Worthy has accepted a deal whereby he will plead guilty to the furnishing false information charge, and the city will drop the hinder and oppose charge.
Have a advice of rights. Okay, I have an advice of rights and the information sheet. You want to accept this offer for you to plead guilty to the furnishing false information, and the city dismiss the remaining count of hinder obstruct oppose. Is that correct? You raise your right hand. Is your phone off? No? Oh, okay, that's fine. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. Okay, you can put your hand down. This document has your signature at the bottom. This is an advice of rights and plea information sheet. Did you read this document?
did.
You understand each of the rights listed here, sir? Do you have any questions about these rights?
No.
And you're willing to give up each of these rights today in order to enter a guilty plea to the furnishing false information?
No.
That means you have to waive your right to trial. So you have the right to a jury trial and you have the right to the presumption of innocence at the time of trial. You're innocent until the city can prove you guilty. You have the right to require them to prove your guilt at trial by proving each element of the charge brought against you or the charges brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You want to waive those rights.
I do.
You're going to also waive the right to confront in court any of the witnesses they intended to bring against you. You have the right to cross-examine any of those witnesses here in court. You'll give up the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence that you believe further a defense to the charges being brought against you. You recognize that, sir?
I do.
Okay, you give up the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You want to give up that right as well? Anybody making any promises or threats to you to get you to waive your trial rights and plead guilty?
No.
Okay. Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
Okay. Are you entering a guilty plea because you believe you're guilty?
I do.
Okay. You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you need to report to your employer? I can't hear you. Okay. You understand that a guilty plea could also have impact on travel or immigration status that you might be seeking? Okay. As to furnishing false information, how do you plead? Okay, on or about December, this was back in 2018. On or back on June 30th, 2018, were you in the area of Cedar Street and Erie Street?
I was.
Is that in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes.
And did you encounter the police at that time?
Yeah.
Why is it that you encountered the police?
It was an incident that the police was called and that's I get the description of the person.
Okay, so they asked you some information?
Yeah, they asked me where was I and if I knew anything about what had happened, and they asked me my name. And I gave them my name. I gave them a name, and it didn't show up.
You gave them a name?
Yeah, a name.
Not your name?
Yeah.
Okay, so the name was not yours. You knew it wasn't yours when you gave it to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions from you, Mr. Staples?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Any additional factual basis, Mr. Lee? The board is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Can your plea be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently? Looks like you had a 2010% bond. I'm sure we have some time on this. Address sentencing.
Thank you. Mr. Worthy has recently been released from incarceration in June. And he has since that time enrolled in a CDL program. There's going to be a trucker, a truck driver. Him and his girlfriend have both enrolled in those programs and plan to build a family and a life together, Your Honor. So he's taken a lot of positive steps. This is an older case. He has already served a significant amount of time. Probably, I haven't been able to calculate the time on this file, but I'm sure some time on this file as well. So we're asking Your Honor, in light of all of those facts, to consider sentencing Mr. Worthy to time, sir.
Anybody's served a significant amount of time, but he served something. He was arraigned back when originally in July 2nd, 2018. The magistrate no more did give him a 2010% bond. And then he failed to appear. Yeah, it says here that the notice was mailed to the address on the bond, but that might not have been.
That same day that I was extending on that. I was doing it. I never got out.
You never posted the bond?
I never got out. They rang me and then they extradited me to the county that I had.
Oh, okay, so when you failed to appear, you was incarcerated. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, nonetheless, I'll give you credit, time served. You're all set. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did we,
was clear. Esatto.
Okay.
Cosa iniziale? Questo è gatto.
I was told that he was released on a PR bond and then turned over to Alma PD and Gratiot County.
He's in Alma and Gratiot?
Alma PD King and God.
Oh, he's in Gratiot?
Yes. And I asked how long he's going to be there. The county said they don't know.
Hey, can you get?
That's Peralta's,
yes. I'll have him.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. To make sure we have problems with the audio.
Oh, yeah, we can hear. And then Jeffrey Cook is downstairs. Thank you. For show cause?
You did cook already.
I did. Oh, okay. Sounds good. On the record, in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing, that's matters, the people of the city of Lansing versus Abdul Rahman Idris. I have file numbers 20-03067, 22-00533, 22-02831, 19-03703, 20-02660, 22-01169, 23-00167, and 23-00169. Council appearance.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Abdurrahman Salah Idris.
This is the date and time that we reset this for a competency evaluation. Let's see, I did receive a report from the Department of Health and Human Services Center for Forensic Psychiatry. Did you get a copy of that report, Council?
I did.
We did as well, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Stated for July 14th. The opinion is that, oh, I'm sorry, we have a interpreter, correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can the interpreter state his name on the record, please? You're muted.
My name is Marsha Ayalew, MARSHETAYALEW.
Thank you. If you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you are interpreting the matter now before the court completely and accurately and not divulge confidential communications to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
It is the date set for forensic and we do have a report.
ሕጂ ውፅኢት ሒዝና መፅና ኣለና ናይ ፎረንሲክ ዝበሃል ከዓ ናይ ወፃኢ ምርመራ ማለት እዩ ትብለካ ኣላ
The report opines that the defendant is incompetent to stand trial.
እቲ ሪፖርት ዘመልክተና እንታይ እዩ ንስኻ ኣብቲ ፍርዲ ቀሪብካ ሓሳብካ ክትገልፅ ከም ዘይትኽእል እዩ
And that he's not likely to attain competence.
ንመፃ እውን ናይ ቀሪብካ ናይ ባዕልካ ናይ ምግላፅ ተኽእሎካ እኹል ከም ዘይኮነ እዩ ዘርኢ ዘሎ እቲ ውፅኢት So he's asking me to repeat from the beginning. He's asking, so I will be repeating from the beginning. أنت أعتبر لك هذا اللام سيلكا نسخة أب فرد قربك عرسك إلكا تقرب كم زي تقل እዩ እቲ ምርመራ ዘርእየና ዘሎ ምርመራ ገይሮም ንካዮም ቅድም ሕጂ ምርመራ ዘርእየና ዘሎ ዓርስኻ ኺልካ ከም ክትቀርብ ከም ዘይትኽእል እዩ ዝሕብረና ዘሎ ይብሉ ከለዉ ንመጻኢ እውን ዓርስኻ ኺልካ ክትቀርብ ከም ዘይትኽእል እዩ እቲ ውፅኢት ዘርእየና ዘሎ እቲ ምርመራ ዝገበሩካ ምርመራ ውፅኢት ዓርስኻ ኺልካ ክትቀርብ ከም ዘይትኽእል ኣብ ቤት ፍርዲ እዩ ዘርእየና ዘሎ እያ ትብለካ ዘላ
Okay.
He says okay.
Okay. And so at this time, we have a couple of options.
Can you say it again?
One,
No, I'm sorry.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 files pending here.
ኣብዚ ሕጂ ሰዓት 8 ፋይላት ኣብ ኢድናዮም ዝርከቡ ዘይተዛዘሙ ማለት እዩ 8 ፋይላት ተደሒዞም ካለው ዘይተዛዘሙ ትልወካ ኣላ
እስኪ ትገመለይ እዚኣ
ኣብዚ ሕጂ ሰዓት 8 ፋይላት ኣለው ዘይተዛዘሙ ብዛዕባኻ ትብለካ ኣላ
ኣው 8 ኦኬ
He says okay.
Okay. Although they do opine that he would not likely retain or attain competence, I should say, if treated, he still can be ordered treatment if I find it necessary under MCL 330.1401.
33.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, can you repeat it? I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Treatment can still be ordered even though he may not likely attain competence.
ዓርስኻ ኺልካ ወላ ክትቀርብ ኣይትኽእል እምበር ተዘድልየካ ኣድላይ ዝኾነ መድሓኒት ወይ ከዓ ሕክምና ንክግበረልካ ክነቕርበልካ ንኽእል ኢና ሕጂ እውን ዋላ እኳ ዓርስኻ ኺልካ ክትቀርብ ክትኽእል ከም ዘይኮንካ እቲ ሪፖርት ይሓብር እምበር ንስኻ تدلك حكمنا احنا قرب الكاجن دلوقتي نحج وانت ذكرنا
هو ناتعنا قدايش نجمر توس بالله
He says yeah, I have health issues.
Okay, I recognize he has health issues, but I don't know if he's talking about the competency.
Say that again. Say that again. I think he's speaking another language.
That's, I think, common for our proceedings. We've had other interpreters that didn't understand what he was saying, and that might be part of a competency issue. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay. Counsel, how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, given the fact that Mr. Idris has been incarcerated during this entire competency period, and that he has ultimately been determined incompetent, we would ask the court to dismiss the files.
እንታይ ብለሎ መሲልካ ኣቶ ድሪስ ዋላ እኳ ተኣሲሮም ዝፅንሑ እቲ ምርመራ እንዳተገበረሎም እንዳሃለየ ሽቃ ሕጂ እቲ ምርመራ ሽቃዕ ዝግበር ተኣሲሮም ፀኒሖም እዮም ግን ዓርሶም ኺሎም ክቐርቡ ከም ዘይክእሉ ንዓኻ ማለት እዩ ዓርስኻ ኪልካ ከም ዘይትቀርብ ስለዘይከኣልካ ወላ ሕጂ እውን ዘለካ ናይ ፍርዲ ቤት ጉዳይ ንኽስረዘልካ እዩ ዝሓትት ዘሎ
እስከመይዚ ማስ ጉዳይ ማስ ትራስ ባሲኒ ናተይስ كيس لا كس لكن دايز بل ما كيس وسيس لا تنيك ولا تسلم من النجاسة وبعرف we don't have sex you have sperm كيس تراس باسين some bushes on the side لا كس I'm not a street man يعني ولا فاول that's the case لا كس immigration security first time before answer immigration in France سمروا game كس immigration for example وين أو they can have This, who's behind you? Go to jail. Who's behind you? In the front. This, do you have people who can tie? Do you have a sweetheart? Some bullshit.
Okay, he's speaking different languages, but at the first time he said that he doesn't understand what his case is, but the rest of the language was different. I think it was Arabic, but it was different languages.
Yes. Exact. Trespassing, what kind? This is our document, this could expire in the house common. This, yani, white cross. No, I'm not come white cross in I say. Red cross, left hand side. Big family, big house, on that some to cross it to big room 5. Math unit in the law. If
Your
you don't
Honor,
have
he's speaking
address,
different languages. So
yes, if you
I
don't
can
have
grasp
Sounds
it.
address,
good.
no
Okay,
minute. If
can
you
you
don't
tell him
have
to be quiet?
if you don't have green, that's
حنساب
such
صنع حنساب
yes,
صنع
oh,
حما
sorry.
كنقرا كاتب لك الله
Yeah, the miss
تعقس انت لك
Okay,
الله
I'll mute him.
حنساب تصدق يا
I'll mute him. I can't carry on if he keeps talking. Okay, Mr. Staples, I particularly wanted it addressed as to whether or not, because you're the one who's speaking to him mostly and in private, if you believe that your client needed to have some treatment ordered. That's what I was addressing.
I mean, on the one hand, I'm reticent to compel a client to be under court supervision, but on the other hand, I do believe that Mr. Idris will truly benefit from mental health counseling and help. I don't see how his life moves forward without. So, yes, we would be.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let the interpreter interpret.
اوكي انت يبلك الله مسلك بزعبا خندي زوقع زلو تسمعن لك انت خنكا ولاكا عرصاخي فك تقرب يتخال ناي امرز اقامي هالليخا حجون ناي تعنا حكمنا خمزة ليكا يحبر زلو نزا دانيا حجون ناي حكمنا ناي تعنا حكمنا يتليكا ناي امرو حكمنا يتليكا يلو حتى الكازلو عرصاخي الكا تقرب ايتخال لامبر حجون ناي تعنا حكمنا ناي امرو حكمنا يتليكا يلو لكالو.
Mr. Staples, how do you want to proceed?
Your Honor, we would certainly rely on the court's judgment in this matter. The city is primarily concerned with getting Mr. Idris whatever help he needs so that these behaviors cease. Obviously, we can't have the public consumption or the urinating in public, but we would rely on the court's opinion on what the proper steps to be taken in the future are.
Yeah, okay, we'll let the interpreter interpret.
እቲ ናይ ከተማ ምምሕዳር ሕጂ እውን ብዛዕባ ዝተፈላለዩ ዝገበርካዮም ነገራት ብምሎም ክዕገስ ኣይከኣለን ኣብ ከተማ ምሻን ሽንቲ ምሻን ዝበሃል ነገራት ብምሉ ስለዚ እቲ ናይ ከተማ ምምሕዳር ኣብቲ ናይቲ ዳኛ ውሳነ እዩ ዝፅቃዕ ዘሎ ማለት እዩ
Okay, although the majority of Mr. Idris's files do involve alcohol in public or urinate in public, there were at least one. No, there's an assault and battery, and then we have a hinder, obstruct, and oppose. Then there's another assault and battery. And so it does not preclude, it's not just issues that are non-assaultive that we're dealing with here. And if we release him without properly addressing the underlying issue, which is some serious mental health or psychiatric issue, we impose a threat to the public, don't you think?
ኣብቶ ድሪስ ዘለካ ኬዛት 8 እንዲኦም ቶም 8 ከዓ ናይ ኣልኮል መስተ ክኸውን ይኽእል ናይ ሽንቲ ኣብ ታዕስሙ ምሻን ወይ ከዓ ናይ መጥቃዕቲ ምፍፃም ኣብ ዝተፈላለዩ ሰባት እዩ ዘለካና ሕጂ ዘለውካ ኬዛት ብምልኦም እቲ ፍርድ ቤት ክሪኦም እዩ ነቲ ጠበቃ ትሓቱላ እቲ ናይ ጥዕናኻ ጉዳይ ናይ ኣእምሮኻ ጉዳይ ከዓ ሲሪየስ ዝኾነ ወይ ከዓ ትኩረት ዘድልዮ ክትትል ከም ዘድልያ ትሓቱ ዘላ
I asked the question, so I need counsel to respond.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, I agree that everything from the homelessness to the trespassing to the alcohol-related, assault and battery related, everything that Mr. Idris has dealt with, I think stems from his mental health issues, and I believe it would behoove him to be treated, and we would certainly understand the court's inclination to order such treatment.
Okay. I am going to let the interpreter interpret before I give my opinion.
ኦኬ ኣቶ ድሪስ ተጠባኻ እንታይ ኢሉ እቲ ዝፈፀም ከም ገበናት ብምሉኦም ካብ ትረስፓሲንግ ጀሚሩ ሽካዕ ሰባት ናይ ምጥቃዕ ናይ ኣልኮል ናይ ከዓ ናይ ሽንቲ ምሻን ኣብ ከተማ ካብ ኩሎም ዝተልዓለ መልዕሊ መንገዲ እንታይ እዩ ናይ ኣእምሮ ጥዕናኻ ዝተዛብዐ ስለ ዝኾነ ምዃኑ ንርዳእ ኢና እዚ ከዓ ኣድላይ ዝኾነ ናይ ኣእምሮ ሕክምና ንክግበረልካ ይሓትት ይብል ኣሎ ንሱ ይስማዕማዕ እየ ናይ ኣእምሮ ሕክምና ከም ዘድልየካ ይስማዕማዕ እየ ይብል ኣሎ
I'm going to adopt the findings of the report, and I don't think that there was an objection, correct?
No objection from the city, Your Honor.
No objection from the defense, Your Honor.
ተቃውሞ የለን ይብል ኣሎ ካብቲ ከተማ
Okay, and I will incorporate the findings of the report into the file.
ናይቲ ዝተረኸበ ውፅኢት ምርመራ ኣብቲ ፋይልካ ንክጠቃልል ክገብሮ እየ
I am going to make an official finding the defendant is incompetent to stand trial and not restorable.
ኣብዚ ሕጂ እንታይ ክገብር እቲ ንስኻ ብቑዕ ኣይኮንካን ናብ ፍርድ ቤት ቀሪብካ ፍርዲ ንክባካ ብቑዕ ኣይኮንካን ወይ ከዓ ፍርዲ ቤት ቀሪብካ ጉዳይካ ክትከታተል ብቑዕ ከም ዘይኮንካ እዩ ዘርኢ ዘሎ
Okay, so I am going to, though, because of a concern about his need for treatment, direct the prosecutor to file a petition for his mental health treatment with the probate court.
በዚ መሰረት ከዓ ነቶም ሕክምና ዝቡኻ በዓል ሞያታት ብምሎም ናይ ኣእምሮ ፀገም ስለ ዘለካ ናይ ኣእምሮ ሕክምና ንክግበረልካ ክገብር የትለካ
Any additional matters for the record today?
ተወሳኺ ሓሳባት ኣለኩም ዶ
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Nothing for the defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all set, sir.
Okay. ወዲእኩም ኣለኹም ወዲኦም ኣለዉ ኩሎም ተቃውሞ የብሎምን
Let me see if I can unmute him.
Between yellow flower and red flower, what is the mirror? This FBI, I'm yellow flower, Abraham Lincoln, Masalan, history, African American. If you don't have address, no male lives. If you don't have green card citizenship, that's sucks, bro. Those some say. But how feel? I'm a red class, left-hander, I'm not a white red class Australian. That's passport first. Passport first, necessity, that's 9/11 different. CIA was civil.
Do you understand anything he's saying?
Yes.
No, I could not understand. Speaking English and other languages.
Okay, that's what I thought. We're all set. We'll let the deputy know that he can be removed.
So should I let you on?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
Have a good one.
It's African American. Well, no, who are in Nigeria?
It's not showing up.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye, Mr. Idris.
Okay, let's see if I could write this note. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Judge Simmons. Thank you, Nicholas and Addie.
See you.
That's all we got, Mr. Staples.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, same to you. Okay, let's see.